Hi, I'm Diana, and I help mamas rock for their babies and for themselves.
And I'm Lucy. I'm a mind-body coach. I help people with fitness, nutrition, and finding a healthy life balance. Together, we explore leading a balanced life even when life seems too busy for it.
So, Lucy, I think we really need to have a discussion about how people can have their cake and eat it too. This sugar debate has gotten so extreme, and I've just read an article that was talking about people who are wondering if they need to cut back on fruit. I mean, yeah, there is sugar in fruit.
That is pretty extreme, isn't it? Well, and that's why we're back to the subject once again. We realized that in the last few videos we made about sugar, if someone only saw our video title or didn't finish watching the videos to the end, it may seem like we're recommending people eliminate sugar altogether or go on a sugar detox diet. And that's not at all what we're trying to say.
No, actually, on the contrary, we say that people should enjoy a piece of cake or some chocolate or cookie or whatever the sweet thing is that they like having. In moderation, of course.
Exactly. In my opinion, extreme diets are never good. They're too hard to follow, and they won't work for the long run. Mainly, it's because they don't give you good habits to replace the old habits so you can learn how to live healthier.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of a friend of mine who wanted to eliminate all the sugar from her diet and then decided to replace it with the sugar substitute.
Did she? So what do you think about that?
Well, I don't know, wouldn't have crossed my mind. Doesn't really seem to be helping with changing your habits, and it's certainly not helping with training yourself away from that sweet tooth.
Yeah, great point. And if you really think about it, the foods that we find a lot of sugar in, generally speaking, aren't healthy anyway. I mean, they're just extra calories with really no nutrient value. We eat them because they're fun and tasty. I don't care if it's zucchini bread or nut roll, it's still full of empty calories. There might be a little bit of something healthy in there. But basically, we all need to practice getting our daily amount of calories from foods that our body uses to operate optimally, like fruit and vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains, things that are high in vitamins and minerals, high in phytochemicals, and high in fiber, things that our body flourishes from. Yeah, fruit is part of this list of healthy food. That's a whole food group that has its own varieties of antioxidants, phytochemicals, cancer-fighting properties, not to mention fiber and water. And it's a great food to eat when you're craving sweets. I recommend that my clients eat fruit first before they go for the cookie or whatever they're thinking they need. And so whenever we're getting enough of all of these nutrient-full, beneficial foods during the day, then we can have a little bit of that food that has zero nutrient value if we still want it. But it should be a small percentage of our daily intake. I have sugar every day. I have sugar in my coffee. I have sugar in my tea. And in fact, I have one dessert almost every day, and it's one serving. It's not 4 servings of a dessert, but I have one serving of dessert practically every day.
Yeah, I do that too. I have chocolate almond milk in my coffee to sweeten it. It gives it a really nice taste as well. And I do have some very high quality dark chocolate every day. And I allow my children to have sweets too, not on an empty stomach. And Tristan knows that when he's hungry, he needs to have something healthy first. And he will even say that to me. He'll say, "Mummy, can I have a sweet?" "Oh, but I want something healthy first." Probably also knows that I'm more likely to say yes when he's had a piece of fruit or something else first. And then it can still happen that he gets excited about his little treat, and he might just start scoffing it down. And then what I do is I slow him down and I remind him to enjoy the sweet, so that he consciously knows he's had it and then hopefully feels satisfied with less.
Yeah, that's a great practice to get your kids into at an early age. I love it.
Yeah, I really like to see how it works, and I think they're also copying me. You know, I've been busy with this for the last 2 years, and I've cleaned up my diet. I'm eating a lot more consciously, and I make sure that the biggest part of my diet is real food, so that when I have a little sweet, I don't have to feel bad about it. And the other great thing is I've lost quite a lot of weight. I weigh 6 kilos, yeah, almost 6 kilos, which is about 13 pounds less than before I had the children. And I've just recently lost some more weight around the middle, which was a welcome side effect of some food supplements that I've started taking. And when I look in the mirror, I like what I see. You know, I haven't looked like this since I was 17, and it's great. And you know, Lucy, I don't even exercise. What do you say about that?
Yeah, I am so glad you like the way you look and that you're doing so well. You're a great inspiration for moms everywhere.
Thank you.
Mm. Yeah. And on that note, you mentioned the exercise. So everybody needs to know, though, that in the long run, we can't have the body that we really want just by changing our diet. So there are two things that happen in general as we age that cause our bodies to change. The first one is, as we get older and take on more responsibility, we move less. You know, in this day and age, we have to work more at the computer, we go to more meetings, we drive more. Basically, we play less and move less. That's just how it is. The second thing is, after the age of 20, our body naturally starts to lose muscle mass. We lose about 5 to 10 pounds every 10 years. This reduces our metabolism by 2 to 4% every 10 years. And it causes an average weight gain of about 15 to 20 pounds every 10 years. So it's not just diet that we need to focus on in order to keep our sexy figures. We need to have a certain amount and kind of movement in our life in order for us to keep looking and feeling great.
Oh, impressive numbers, those. Well, I'm glad to report that I've got at least the first part right. You know, I do move a lot since I've left the corporate world, and I'm a mompreneur, being at home with my children. You know, Brianna is still with me all the time, and it just comes natural. We go out to the playground, we kick the ball, we play, and when they're at home and I try to work during the day, I really only get a few minutes at a time at the computer before I have to get up and do something else. And the other day, Brianna was ill, and she was trying to go to sleep. She was crying, and I must have been up and down those stairs at least 6 times in an hour. So, these things just happen. They're part of my life, and yeah, so at least I'm moving.
Yeah, so you definitely get a lot of regular movement in, which is great. So you have the first part down. That's the first half. And the second half is equally important. So we all need some moderate to intense exercise on a regular basis because that challenges our body enough to stimulate the growth and tone of our muscles. It maintains our metabolism, it keeps our cardiovascular system strong, it keeps our nervous system and our brain working optimally, it helps us keep our bone mass, and that's just the tip of the iceberg of what exercise does for our health and longevity and for keeping our youthful body as long as possible. So we need to have that exercise in order to resist that natural decline in muscle mass that I talked about just before. We can actually prevent that with exercise.
Yeah, and I know we did touch on that in our previous video when we were talking about the myth of motivation to exercise. So really, we've just got to get up and do it.
Yes, you're right. And if you exercise, you're even more likely to be able to have your cake and eat it too.
Woo! On that note, I think that's a good place to stop for today.
Yeah, I think so too. And if you're still watching this video, please click like below if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to keep up with our chats.
Yes, please do. Bye-bye.
Signing off. See you next time.